Hi, and welcome to Massell Creations. We are going to work with Let's Resin's jewelry kit today. I actually won this kit on Michelle's Glitz and Glitter with Michelle, one of her lives. I was so excited because I actually don't have this kit. And we're going to do something a little different. One of my favorite ways. I'm not a huge jewelry person. I like to make other stuff. Jewelry doesn't seem to sell very well for me. And while I'm not all about the sales, I am about getting everything that I make out of my house, because otherwise I would have so much of it that I can't even fathom. So I have an Etsy store and I list all of my stuff on my Etsy store. It's pretty inexpensive. I'm basically getting back my costs for making it. And obviously you have to pay shipping and handling on it, but it makes it pretty inexpensive. So if you're interested, you're welcome to go check that out and help me empty out my stuff. So there's a ton of really cool designs. We have the hexagon, square, lots. Actually, they are all different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take maybe these 4 here, and if I have extra, then we'll deal with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these about halfway, maybe just under halfway. Actually, let me get these out of there. They were cute for an intro, but now they're a pain in the tush. Oh, the things we do. All right. We're going to fill these about halfway. I have some resin already mixed up, and in that resin we have some sweet rose. It's a pink. And like I said, I'm just going to fill these hopefully not even halfway. How do I have something in it already? Oh, it's underneath. Okay, we're good. And then once these are cured, we're going to cut them in half. Put half of it back in the mold. And fill the other half with clear and put decoration on that side. It'll make more sense here in a minute. I'm going to put you on a fast forward while, oh, that was way too much. I will be back as soon as these have cured. Mostly, you still want them soft. But once they've mostly cured, we'll be back and I'll show you the second part. Okay, in true Kathy fashion, I have let these set too long, and they are no longer bendy. Oi! So this process is much easier if you catch it while you can still bend it, and these are hard. So the next portion of this, I'm probably going to have to do off screen, just because it's going to take more effort than it would have if I'd have caught this on time. But essentially, what I'm going to do next is you just take a pair of scissors, and where these have already got the hole in it from the little nub there. Oh, by the way, you probably saw my little glitters that are in there that weren't in there when you and I saw each other last. Well, I was working on another project and I was using this glitter and it drifted over into this project. So I just sprinkled it onto all these pieces while they were wet, and you know, it is what it is. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. So we just got a little extra sparkle to our stuff. It's perfectly fine. Oh, it's cutting, but it's not cutting nearly as nice as it would have if I'd have got it while it was still super bendy. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just going to cut these in half. I'm going to go through and I'm going to do all of these, and then we're going to come back and I'll show you what we're going to do next. And I try and keep the halves together. I don't know why. I don't suppose it probably really matters. But let's just use the circles to start with, so, or the ovals. So I try and cut right through the very center of the nub so that it makes it easier for this portion, because you just match up and you're not trying to put that little nub back through the hole, because we all know, or at least for me anyway, I am never going to get that to match, and it's never going to happen. And I can use, and so in essence, I could have used just half. I could have just did one of these and not both, because then half would have been in this and half would have been in that. I don't know why I didn't think about that. But it's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. I'm just going to have lots of these. That's all. So I'm just going to put these in there, make sure that the good side is up. So the side that you want to see, because that's the side that we are going to build on. And I am actually gonna cut this one a little bit more because that nub did not, I'm not halfway through it and I can't get the divider in there. So I'm just gonna trim it down a little bit more. Perfect. Now it fits right around that thing, whereas before it was not. So, and you want to try and push it up against the portion of the mold that it needs to be in. You want to try and push that up there just as close as you can. It doesn't have to be exact, but the closer you get it, the better off you are. So let's move on to the rectangles. You guys hopefully, now see how this one, the little nub, the hole for the nub, you're going to have to put the nub in that hole, and that ain't never happening. So I'm just going to trim this so that I can either get half of that nub or the whole thing's going to be gone. I don't care either way, but I am not feeding that nub through a hole. I ain't got the patience or the time for that nonsense. All right, we got one more big piece. You do not have to worry about your lines being straight, obviously. As a matter of fact, let's do it on this one. Nope, not on this one. We'll do it on one of these smaller ones. Let's take and cut it into segments. Come on. I really waited too long to cut these. And then we'll cut this one. Let's see, it would have been, it would have gone like this. So I'm trying to think, because I don't want to have, I want to use pieces of it, but I don't want them to touch. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. So I'm going to cut this one like this, and then I think I'm going to cut it up at an angle like this. We're going to make this one all kinds of wonky just to show you that this does not have to be pretty. And if it's a funky, if you get like that little shard right there, I don't want that. I'll just trim it off. This will be pretty. All right, so this was in the corner here. Yes, it was. And this piece here went like, the only thing is you got to be super careful. You don't want to stab your mold and scratch your mold. Otherwise you have just damaged it and you're going to see that forever. Okay. And I don't want these two to touch. So I'm actually going to take this top piece off. There we go. Like so. Like that. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. There's my nub. And again, I'm gonna have to push that nub right through there. That ain't happening. No way, no how. Set that in there. Put that one in there. And you want to try and push them as much into those corners as you possibly can. All right. So you get the gist of what we've got going on here. These go together and those go together. And I'm only going to keep these together in case I do something like this again. So I have all these extra pieces. And if I'd have just poured one of each, I wouldn't have had any. But that's okay. I'm still going to use them. I just have to wait until these are done. So the next thing that we're going to do is, I would typically, if I wasn't in a hurry, I would use epoxy resin. I'm not a fan of putting UV resin with epoxy because if it gets hot or whatever, they can separate. But I'm going to top coat it with epoxy and it's going to be fine. So, and again, this one's going to be a super thin layer. And I want plenty of time to work with this because I'm going to add a whole bunch of pretty stuff to this. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm only going to fill it just about as full as the other side. So not even halfway. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my heat gun out. I'm going to warm this up. Yes, I realize that there is glitter in some of these, and that's okay because we're just going to add to that here in a sec. I'm just wanting to warm this up so that it's nice and thin so that it can fit into all of the corners and avoid any kind of bubbles. Now the fun part. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dotting tool, which I hope I have not taken all of them downstairs. I have not. Here's one. Oh, and it's pink to match our project. Look at that. And then I have, this is the glitter that I was working with earlier. It's like holographic hearts. I believe it's Recollections. I got this from Hobby Lobby. And I have these glitters that I got from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if I'm going to use these. We might. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of tried to just kind of pick out some of my heart Valentine-y looking stuff. And this is a Dollar Tree collection of glitters. I got this last year. I don't know if they still do these or not. But if they do, this was only, it was only $1.25. I don't know what they cost now, but they're still super cool, and you get them in so many different colors. I don't even want to tell you how many of these I have, because when I saw that they were out, I bought like 5 of each color that they had. It was insane. I was crazy. All right, first thing I'm going to do is do exactly what I did earlier that caused the mess that you see in the pink now. I'm just going to sprinkle some of this over our project. Oh, I don't have anything in that one, Kathy. Knucklehead. And this is just to give a little bit of color to the backdrop, because we're going to add a whole lot of fun to the front. I'm really trying to do it only on the clear part, but obviously when you drip it in like this, you're going to get it everywhere. It's going to go everywhere. And that's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. It's all fine. It'll be fine. I don't care. This is not a, oh, for crying out. Not a tidy project. And that's okay with me, because that's not who I am. It's just, I'm not a tidy person. I have a desk vacuum that is like my bestest invention, or not my invention, but my bestest item that I could possibly have in my, oh, for God's sakes. And, oh, well, now I'm going to have glitter in it too. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you turn that on, it vacuums off of your counter. Oh my goodness. I'm going to leave the bloopers in, because that's who I am and that's what we do. We are rolling with it because it's going to be fine. It's going to be awesome. Little glitter. It's not going to hurt anything. Oh my goodness. At least I haven't sneezed into my glitter today. I shouldn't say things like that out loud, huh? All right. So I don't want to overdo it. But I just, like I said, I want a little bit of color in the background. And this is going to add a little bit of shimmer shine to that clear side that could otherwise be pretty boring. So here are some of the hearts that we have from earlier. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip my utensil into the resin and pay attention to where your little nub is, because you don't want your hearts upside down. My nub's up there, so I want my hearts to sit this way on this heart, or on this this particular one. And on this one, my nub's at the other end, so you want to make sure that if I put hearts on that side, that they are facing the opposite direction. I think I'm only going to put one in those. So I'm only going to get away with these on the bigger hearts, or the bigger projects, because obviously this big old heart is not going to fit in that little bitty square. But it will fit in our bigger projects. And it's a great filler for our bigger projects, so that you don't have to have quite so much little stuff. This is, I think, I don't know if I've already said this or not. This is just table scatter from Dollar Tree. I get a lot of my stuff from Dollar Tree. When I first started out, I had nothing, and I had to be frugal, because resin's not a cheap project to do. It takes, especially when you're getting into molds and all of that stuff. So I got a lot of my supplies from Dollar Tree and did what I could with. I still do it that way because I don't make a lot. I don't make anything for doing these. I sell all my extras just so I can afford to buy more stuff. And my shop that I have on Etsy is mostly printed goods. I do the designs and then I resource a third-party printer to print them out for me. And then I put those on Etsy. So that's kind of nice. I don't have to worry about all that inventory because let's be real, I can't afford that and this. So, and these are just little holographic hearts. I don't know if you can see that. And these I will actually place by hand individually, each little heart. Until I get tired of it and just throw them in there. No, I'm just kidding. These I will place by hand. All right, so the last thing, oh my gosh, I got stars everywhere. The last thing I did was go around and I added some butterflies and a couple little stars. You can see them all over my mat, all over my fingers. I am going to go ahead and put these under the light now and let this cure. And then we're going to add a top coat and these will be done. So you're going to notice we have a couple of extras. For when I made these, I had a little bit of extra clear. So I poured clear with the same things in it. And then while I was doing the UV portion of the pinks, I went ahead and just poured white UV resin. Less resin makes white. And filled the other half of that with white. And now we have pink and white. So the last thing we're going to do is just top these off. I have mixed up a couple of ounces of clear. And we are going to dome these. I did go ahead and add some of our crushed crystal to this, just so it'd have a little extra sparkle. And we are going to let this set up and cure, and then we're going to come back and demold it. That does it. These are cured. I did turn them over and cure them from the bottom as well, just so I could make sure I got a full cure on all that UV. And these are our finished projects. I did take them out of the mold already. I put some finishings on some of them, made them into earrings, some of them into charms. You could do book bag tags, purse charms, luggage tags, necklaces. You could also turn them into magnets. There's so many different possibilities with these, and they are so stinking cute. So let me know what you guys think, and until next time, we will see you later. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.